What's up, gamers, geeks, and nerds? Welcome back to Dokkan Academy. ItsDalius here. It's gonna be episode 2. We're gonna be focused on team building this time. Last episode we actually did some of it. I tried to cover the basics, but this time I wanna go more in depth about how to properly team building on the Dokkan Battle system and game. So welcome to episode number 2. Without further ado, we're gonna jump in and try to see how can we manage to build decent teams in the current state of the game. There's a lot of teams right now, so I'm gonna be jumping into the game. And if you remember last episode, we talked about the typing of the units. At this point, we pretty much know that there's like classes, type, link skills, and what is it called, categories for the teams. So there's different types of teams that you can create. You can go with the type team, which is actually known as mono team. Mono because of one type of color or type of unit, either being physical, int, strength, intellect, whatever, right? Whichever of the type, 5 types you can use. And then you can go on the other route and create a team of classes, like a class team, that being like stream class team or super class team. Unfortunately, we don't have so much of a leader unit for mono teams or for class type teams anymore. They're pretty much outdated. So basically you're going to be relying on categories team leader for your proper team building. Now, if you don't know how to see which units or what kind of categories the units have, you can choose any unit you want to. You're gonna do a long press on the unit, so it's gonna show you the details of the unit, and then you can go to this tab right here. It's gonna show you all the categories the unit is in. We can see right now that this guy is actually in Pure Saiyans, Karate Body and Mind, Gifted Warriors, etc, right? So there's a lot of things this unit is on, and the reason being is because this is actually an exchangeable unit. It's one of the most recent types of units that Dokkan has released, in which we can use 2 units in one card. Right here we have Majin Vegeta, and if we click on the top left, we can see and switch to Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and then we can see the other unit attached to the same card. So anyways, getting back to it. So team building is going to be the most important thing to tackle any event, any challenging event, anything on the game is actually related to the team building mechanic of the actual game. Like I told you before, Dokkan Battle for me is more like an RPG game, and the reason being is because units do tend to have certain types of class and some type of let's say role that they're supposed to do. There's tank units that are basically focused on defense. There are attack units like DPS units. They're more focused in creating a lot of damage, and there are units that are mainly focused on providing support to the team. So that's why I always use this analogy to be more like, okay, I have a tank, I have a DPS on my team, which is going to be the damage dealer, and I do have a healer or some sort of a support unit on the team, so that it can provide, I don't know, ki, because ki is going to be a very important issue for the game. Any type of buff, either being defense, attack, plus, or maybe healing the body itself. So at the end of the video, I think I'm gonna go and try to show you what I will call the I don't know, maybe top 5 teams that I consider myself that they're currently top meta in the game. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but anyway, I digress. So if you remember correctly, last episode I told you about this tab right here, which is team. Here we can see everything's concentrated. We can see the team tab on the top left. We can see the sell, where we can see all the different type of cards that we can sell to get Seni. We can grow the units, either training, awaken them, or linking skill update, like level up. We have the hidden potential system. The hidden potential system is basically like a feature of the unit that's gonna make it stronger, right? And among other things right here, right? We have the character list, character effects, where we can apply certain type of stickers to enhance the card art. But right now I'm gonna be focusing on team, right? This is exactly where we're gonna be right now. We're trying to create a good team that is gonna be able to provide you with enough stats, a very good party, enough to just tackle, let's say, middle level end game content, like not end game content, more like middle level content, right? So you can choose any of the 5 tabs that you can see right here. Those tabs are basically here just to let you predetermine certain themes. You can see that we have enough space just to create enough themes. Like, you can just have your themes pre-made, and you can go however you want to go. You can choose just one of these. I'm gonna go with number 1 because it's always the first one to show up on the game screen. So I want to form a team, Dalius. How am I supposed to do this? Okay, we're right here and we're gonna press the right yellow button here that says team formation. It's gonna take us to this character list that we have on your box. It's gonna take you to your box, in this case my box, and yeah, being here, this is what you're gonna see. You're not gonna have any unit on your 6 slots, right? So in the previous video I mentioned to you that the first unit that you're gonna be choosing is gonna be the one providing the leader skill for the whole party, right? I'm gonna go with a very simple team. One of the most you're gonna find yourself being able to have a leader for this one, I'm pretty sure, depending on how new to the game you are. So whenever, if this is a new account, which is probably the case, because if not, what are you looking at this video, right? It's gonna be like you're either gonna have a pure Saiyan leader or something like that, a hybrid Saiyan leader, because those leader skills at this point are kind of like very popular. There's a lot of characters that actually have that leader skill. So you wanna build a team. So we're gonna go and we're gonna click on the favorite tab. Then we're gonna go to category, select a category, and then we can see all the categories that we have right here. Okay, so you can either choose one category, like pure Saiyan, and I have it selected, right? But just click OK, and it's gonna display all the pure Saiyan category units that I have on my box right here, right? So every single one of these units right here that you're seeing on the screen are actually pure Saiyan units. So how do I choose, or how do I know who is the leader for this category? Well, you can just long press the unit and just start reading the leader skill, see who's the leader for pure Saiyans. This is actually one of the pure Saiyan leads, but that's in the past. A few months back, Dokkan implemented a new system in the tab, and you can see it right here on the bottom left. This says leader search. Whenever you toggle this on, it's gonna show you who leads pure Saiyan, and as you can see right here, all of these units actually lead pure Saiyan, or some sort of pure Saiyan, right? Because this toggle right here actually shows you leader skills that are attached to pure Saiyan. In this case, for this unit, you can see that she leads all types, so it's not really a pure Saiyan leader per se, but it's basically like all the units. And so yeah, on the top you're gonna see which are the main leads. So whichever unit that has the higher stats for the leader, it's gonna be on top. So right now we can see that Majin Vegeta is actually number 1. And the reason being is because if you click their details, you can see that he leads pure Saiyan. He also leads corroded body and mind, and gifted warriors. But he also provides Majin Buu and uncontrollable power category allies 50% buff, right? We already mentioned about, we already talked about this in the previous video, how to see what the unit does. But this is gonna be my main leader for the team. Why? Because he provides most of the buffs that I need, and not for all units, because as you can see right here, he only provides a 50% increase in stats to Majin Buu and uncontrollable power. So let's see this as a perspective. You want to run Pure Saiyan units, and they're gonna benefit from the 200% HP. They're gonna get 170% attack and defense. But if you really want to maximize, then you have to make sure that whatever Pure Saiyan that you're choosing is also in Majin Buu Saga or uncontrollable power. That way he's gonna get the full buff. But that's not gonna be always the case, because sometimes those units are outdated, or the top units in the game right now are not on Majin Buu Saga or whatever. But for the sake of the video, we're gonna go with Pure Saiyan plain as it is. So we already have we already have our leader selected. I'm gonna toggle off the leader search, and then we can start building our team. I already know that this guy is actually a team tank for the party. How do I know this? Remember, go to the passive, and in the passive we can see all the details. This guy actually guards. He provides damage reduction, and damage reduction basically is some kind of a defense buff that they have, because they will reduce the incoming damage by 18%. But he has another stacks of the same thing, like damage reduction 18% right here, and then damage reduction 18% right here, and then damage reduction 18% right here. You can read the passive, and you can see what he does. At this point, I know what he does. He is a tank. He has certain conditions to be met to be this tank, like getting 7 orcs, or getting have enough extreme class allies on the team, 5 or more to be exact and precisely. But we already have our leader, Pure Saiyan leader, Majin Vegeta. So I want to pair him up. Who do I pair him up? How do I know who to pair him up? There's a lot of units. How do I know who's going to be better for him? Because remember, I told you in the last episode, we have to pay attention not only if the unit is under the leader skill, the class skill, or whatever it is, but we also have to pay attention to links. Links are important. Probably not the most important thing overall in the game, because you can have a unit, the best unit in the game, not linking too much with a unit, just like having one link, maybe 0 links, and the unit's still gonna be good. But to get the most of it, you need to pair this unit with another unit that is actually a very good, reliable source to it, right? There's some websites that you can visit that they're gonna show you how to properly build teams, and we can check on that. That's gonna be an easy resource for you. I'm gonna take you to it at the end of the video, but let's keep it like old school, right? For the sake of the video, I want someone to link to this guy, and I would prefer to be a Majin Buu Saga unit, because that way he's gonna get some passives actives on his skills. So these guys right here are an ECA unit, like they are an LR, they are Majin Buu Saga and Pure Saiyan unit, so they go really well with them. But the way just to double check is just go to the links, then you can see that they have Super Saiyan Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Experienced Fighter, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, right? So we have seven links, and then we can go with this guy, and then we can see that they share Super Saiyan, they share Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. So Royal Lineage actually is not one of the shared links, but I digress. What does the links help you with? If you click the link that you're seeing, like for instance, let's go with Saiyan Warrior Race, you can see that these links provides attack plus 9.5%, and if you have it on level 10, it's gonna provide 10% attack, a 10% attack buff whenever they link. So I have my linking partner to this guy, so this guy is gonna be my slot number 1, it's gonna be my tank, and this guy is gonna be my damage dealer on slot number 2. But the game actually has 2 rotations. There's 2 rotations, so we're gonna set up the second rotation. For the second rotation, we also want a tank on the slot number 1. So who am I gonna bring? I already know who am I gonna bring into this team because this is actually the power of money. I'm using just the best units in the game right now. But I'm gonna bring in UI Goku. Why am I bringing UI Goku? Because UI Goku is a slot 1 unit. Then again, to read the passive, I'm gonna check and I'm gonna read everything that he says right here, and I'm gonna know what he does. I already know that he's a slot 1 unit. He's gonna be my tank for the second rotation, so I'm gonna leave it right here. But Dalius, he's not in my Jinbu Saga or Uncontrollable Power. Let me double check that just to make sure that he's not in either of those categories. And let's see: Gifted Warrior, Siblings 1, Warrior Rival, Full Power, Tournament Participant, One Apparent Child, Miracles Awaken, Celebrity Battle. So no, he's not in any of those 2 extra buff categories, but that's fine. That's not gonna be an issue for us, because even if he's not getting the full buff, this guy is actually a really good unit. So that's gonna be my tank. Now I want to pair this guy with someone who's actually reliable and is actually a damage dealer. Who am I gonna be using? That's the question. Who am I gonna be using? Let's remember something about UI Goku. He's actually a Realm of Gods unit. How do I know this? Because he's using the power of the gods, right? UI is actually the power of the gods, and you can double check here on the categories. He leads Realm of Gods. That's basically his stuff. So who am I gonna be pairing him? I would prefer to pair him with the Realm of God units and someone who's actually really strong. So I'm gonna go with this guy, which is Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, another exchangeable unit. So I'm gonna be changing this guy. This is gonna be my tank. This is gonna be my damage dealer. Right? We're good there. And now we have 2 other spaces right here. Those spaces are usually reserved just for units on either they can go in slot number 3, which is gonna be the safest of them all. Why is the safest? Because usually the units stack defense whenever they super attack. So if you're gonna be on slot number 3, you're gonna be attacking before the enemy attacks you, and if you're gonna be in slot number 1, the enemy it's gonna be attacking first, then you. So you get benefits from units that doesn't need to attack to create any kind of buff, defensive buff. So I'm looking for a unit that's gonna be providing some sort of something. It provides either key, defense, or whatever. Let's find a unit that actually does that. I think that a good unit that provides some sort of buff, it's going to be. I mean, I'm gonna go with any, to be honest, because you can either choose a unit that provides buff, or you can choose a unit that is gonna be that you can mix and match, that you can use in slot 1 whenever it's necessary. Because this is the thing about the game. The game is very RNG, right? It's random. So the rotations are gonna go just randomly, and you're gonna start preparing your rotation. So you might really have a really bad luck and not having the slot 1 unit whenever you want it. So in this case, I'm gonna go with God Goku, which is actually a really strong unit, and he can be placed in slot 1 whenever it's necessary, at least for a moment. And just for the sake of it, I'm gonna take Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku, because he can actually go 2 in a slot 1 even if it's necessary, and he provides some buffs to the team. So this is gonna be my team. I already know who's gonna be my main rotation, my second rotation, and who are gonna be my floaters. The units that are gonna be rotating are known as floaters because you float them off the rotation. So that's gonna be my team, and I'm pretty much basically ready to go to any event. I'm gonna jump in real quick into an event, just for the sake of it. I don't wanna go to an easy event because that's not gonna. It's gonna be so easy. But let's go with Goma, just for the sake of it. Whenever you clear an event, the game is gonna show you the previous team that you used to clear the event, right? But if you just wanna use the team that you already formed, you can just swipe and you're gonna find it, right? So in this case, I'm gonna go with the team that we just recently created. Be very cautious because this is gonna be your friend unit. For the game to actually work, you need to have your team, and then you need a friend unit. The friend unit is gonna be providing a 50% buff of all the stats that you already have. So you wanna pair it with the same leader that you have. So if you refresh it here, the game is gonna assign the unit that he wants, whichever unit he wants. So as you can see, this guy actually provides buffs for all of these, for all over my units right now. But I want to use another Majin Vegeta, so I'm gonna press change, and I can filter right here, filter physical unit, and then I'm gonna get 100% Vegeta because this has 100% active. Then we're ready to jump.
Let's do this.
We're gonna be jumping into the game. Okay. We have an entrance animation because the unit that we're using has an entrance animation that activates with one condition. Whenever we have a Majin Buu Saga ally on the team, on the rotation, it's gonna pop up. This is one of the things about teams. We need to read. I know people don't like to read, but we have to read the units. Or you can watch your favorite content creator just to see what the unit does and how you're supposed to use the unit. And yeah, basically that's it. We created our team and we are tackling 11. I wanna show you how the team actually works on an event, on a game, actually in a gameplay. So let's finish with the entrance animations. Now, for this rotation, I have two of the same units. As you can see, they don't link with each other. There's no links active. Being this kind of gray means that they don't have any links activated right now. But this other guy does have 3 link skills activated with UI. They share 3 links. Okay, we're good there. We're good there, and what we're gonna be doing is, you can see that there's a small switch icon. There are certain units in the game that can switch. I already mentioned this. You can have 2 units on one card. These are more considered like top prime units. So what I'm gonna be using right now, it's gonna be pairing this guy here, and I'm gonna switch this to the other guy, to Goku. And now that I switch to Goku, both units are sharing links. Even if it's the same card, you're using a different type of the card, right? A different character. So now we're linking. Thankfully enough, Goku is actually a slot 1 too. So basically, whichever I decide to go with, they're gonna be fine, right? But Vegeta has certain conditions that need to be met before he gets his full potential. And some of those conditions is that are that he needs extreme class units in the team. And we don't have enough stream class units. We basically have super units. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be switching, and I'm going to be using Goku as slot 1 because it's more reliable. All that he needs is 3 super class units, I think. And he's going to be more reliable. So I'm going to go with this guy. I should go with the same color to build the whole super attack. But I want to save this for Vegeta. So I'm going to go with this. He's going to be my slot 1 unit. Vegeta is going to act like my slot 2 unit as a DPS. I'm going to get 6 orbs. I was 1 short because he needs either extreme class units on the team, or he needs 7 orbs to be fully powerful, right? And UI Goku actually has a switch too. We can switch to Vegeta, to Blue Vegeta. Blue Evolution Vegeta, to be more precise. So this guy does have another gimmick as well. I'm not gonna talk about it right now, but I'm gonna be having this guy on slot number 3. And there we go. We have a slot 1, which is gonna be Goku. Our slot 2, who's gonna be Majin Vegeta. And our slot 3, who's gonna be Royal Blue Vegeta or Blue Evolution Vegeta. You see, Goku dodge everything. He's my very good slot number 1 reliable unit. So dodging is better than anything else because that way you just bypass any type of damage or any type of debuffing that you might get. Bosses in the game can really harm you because they debuff, they do stuff like that, right? But right now, we touch everything with Goku, and now Vegeta is doing a super attack. Nex attack, and you see he's really strong. We blast the guy, and now he's done. He's cooked. for the second rotation. Now we're gonna be entering on the second rotation. That was only our first rotation. Let's see the entrance animation. That's an entrance animation for God Goku, which we all love. I love God Goku form, even if it's not people's favorite. So now I'm kinda in the middle of a pickle. Why? Because UI Goku was supposed to be my slot 1 for the second rotation, and I don't have him right here. But if you remember, I mentioned before, this guy is actually a good switch unit. He can go in slot 1 in certain cases, and he can go in slot 3. In this case, Goma is a physical unit, and you can see right here on the top right corner that SDR units are stronger against physical units. So he has what is called a type advantage, a true type advantage. So I'm gonna stick with Goku, or I can switch up to God Goku, who can be a place on slot 1 too. He has some defense capabilities, but not only that, he also has a revive mechanic. A few units had a revive mechanic in case you die or an ally dies, he's gonna revive, so it's kind of like a save for the game. So for this, I'm gonna just leave Super Saiyan for Goku in slot 1. He's gonna be the tank. I'm gonna leave God Goku in slot number 2 because the slot number 3 unit is always gonna go floating around. So if I wanna pair this guy with UI Goku, it's better for me to leave it in rotation. So I'm gonna leave it in slot number 2. And these guys were my my sword. In this case, they were my DPS. But I'm gonna float them off on slot number 3. That's not gonna be an issue. And now I have my second rotation pretty much settled. I'm gonna come back into the other turn, and I'm gonna still have my 2 units that I place in slot number 1 and slot number 2. And the slot number 3 unit is gonna be a new unit that wasn't in the previous turn because it's floating, constantly floating, right? And yeah, I mean, on a basis, on a daily basis, on an actual scenario, this is the way things goes for the game. 2 rotations, you need a slot 1 unit to be either a tank that doesn't get any damage, or a, what is it called? Oh, there's the revive. You see, I die to a super attack, but this guy has a revive. So the revive is actually like a team mechanic, team protecting mechanic, because we die, but now we revive. So it was a safe. It was a safe unit, a safe bet that we use. So this is the game, guys. Overall, this is the game. You're supposed to pull for the units. You're supposed to get the best units. You're supposed to build the most strong team designed for the specific event that you want to tackle. But that's basically it. This is what it is. We die, but we revive thanks to the unit, and now we have a rotation, and it's basically what it is, to be honest. I think that's gonna be pretty much a wrap up. It's gonna be like a wrap up for the video. Don't forget, this is gonna be where you're gonna be pre-mating your teams. There's a lot of teams that you can use. Just take a look at the categories that we have. There are a lot of categories. The video is already too long. I'm not gonna do my top 5 units, top 5 teams in the game in this video. I'm gonna do a short. Maybe I'm gonna do a small video, and I'm gonna show you which I consider the top 5 teams in the game. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's basically how you prepare your team for tackle any event in Dokkan Battle. I hope the information actually helps you. If it not, I'm sorry. If it did, just leave a like. I really appreciate that. Or a comment, or leave me a comment on the section below. I really appreciate that too. It's been Dalius. Remember, this is the Dokkan Academy. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to episode number 3 and 4 and 5. And how many episodes do we need to start learning how to Dokkan? So that's gonna be Dalius. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Goodbye.